Hello, everyone. This is Akata Vesta. Thank you for joining me. Today, I am going to talk about the Libra lunar full moon eclipse on the 25th of March. But before we go into this topic, there is a few points I would like to explain beforehand. The first thing is I know you might have noticed when I do astrological podcast, I don't really give a whole lot of details regarding each planet, each aspect, each transit, but concentrate into a few major energies. Because I think that in our planetary movement, there are some particular transit that have much longer and much more powerful influence in our psyche, in our emotion, in our mental stage, and as a consequences have also influence in our spiritual journey. And sometimes we need to look back also in time in order to understand how it started and how it is going and how it may go in the future. And that's how I feel like to talk about astrology that concentrate into a few aspects that has major influence so that we can more concentrate in understanding what we are going through at this moment. And the second point I want to talk about before we go into the astrological aspect is on the 25th, this lunar Libra eclipse is one of the very important portal. And I am going to do a webinar for the first time where we will go into a little bit more details and to connect with you on live in Zoom, that we can share some more influence of this particular transit. And in particular, I would like to bring in the Aurus energy. And we are going to have Aurus healing chamber meditation. That is what I have downloaded in these few days, that I have been shown the kind of healing energies that we might need, and with my connection with the Aurus that is still within the sign of Libra. And I think it is important that we go through this healing journey together. And I will have another video on purpose to talk about this webinar with all its details. So that would be the housekeeping before we start the astrological podcast. So thank you for joining me, and I hope that you will enjoy it. So on the 25th of February, March, we are going to have this Libra full moon lunar eclipse. And if we want to bring out a few keywords of this lunar eclipse, I would say that is acceleration of fate, that as Libra, it is important to set our boundaries, know where we stand, how we express, and also to break free from social system, from manipulation, and Another thing is allow ourselves to be confused, to not knowing what the future will bring, to flow with what the energies bring us, letting ourselves be guided through these planetary energies and the divine. So if we look at the chart of this lunar eclipse, so we have our moon at 5 degrees in Libra. Depends on the house that is in your natal chart. Have a look at this 5 degree. If you have any plants there, you may feel it especially strong. And of course, the eclipse, it means that this eclipse is a full moon eclipse, which means that the moon and the sun is in opposite sign. It is an eclipse because of Earth is blocking the moon, that we don't see the light of the moon. And in ancient time, of course, it is with all kinds of eclipse has always been interpreted as bad omen, might bring disaster because it is a lunar eclipse. It might bring famine, it might bring drought. And in modern astrology, we now have a total different understanding, especially this one here. And I think it is going to bring us a whole lot of positive influence. If we look at the chart, we have in Libra, we have the moon at 5 degrees and the south node is there since last year, July. In one of my previous video on regarding the Pisces seasons, I talked about how the north node in Aries at this moment, together with Chiron, which is still conjunct because the north node is 16 degrees and Chiron is in 18 degrees. How we can use this energy as ancestral healing, as how we could have heal our inner wounds in finding who we are as Aries, as I am. And with this full moon, we are being asked once again to go even deeper into our emotion with the moon in Libra. And to help us, also we have Mercury in Aries. So how we can express it, knowing who we are, setting up our boundaries as North Node in Aries, so that we can define much better our relationships as Libra to the others. We always think Libra as a sign that is always doing the diplomatic balancing act between peoples and groups. Here in particular is asking us, do we always doing that by sacrificing our own boundaries, our self-identities? Should we set up new standard for ourselves when we are dealing into relationships with people and groups? In order to know that, because eclipse has a much longer period of influence, it is important for us at this particular case to go back in time in last year on the 14th of October, when we have the solar eclipse in Libra. So in October last year, you may have started a sort of journey, a sort of soul searching in knowing who you are in terms of yourself and in terms of your relationship with the others. There might be some relationship that you realize already then that could have been or should have been ended. And during this period, you are getting clearer and clearer the kind of relationship you are really asking for yourself in knowing who you are, in finding your self-identity through Aries. And after the 14th of October solar eclipse, we have another lunar eclipse right after on the 28th of October, which is in Taurus. How is that relevant and important to Libra? Because Libra and Taurus, both signs, are ruled by Venus. And Venus is showing us of your heart calling. With Venus, which is all about relationship of love, of how you express it, how you would like the kind of relationships for yourself. So in this 14 days blanket, from the 14th of October to the 28th, it is like emphasizing this kind of aspect in your personal life. And today, on the 25th, since you were starting this certain journey, and today is like a closing cycle that finally, in these 6 months, have you understood how you would like it to be? Was the old kind of social structures still relevant for who you are today? It is a way to help us with Chiron and North Node in Aries, healing the love relationships in ourselves. You might have gone through some heartbreak. You might have find some people that is no longer resonate with your energies today. And with this lunar eclipse, would you take this step in order to set the boundaries for yourself? Venus is in Pisces together with Mars that has just entered Pisces, together with Saturn, which has been here since last year as well. And we have Neptune in his final degrees. So it very much depends on which house, Pisces in your house. You may, with Saturn, is helping really to set up the kind of boundaries, the kind of structures that you would like for yourself. And with Mars here, it's actually helping you to bring out the action, to be brave, to be outwardly expressing it, doing it. And Venus is also sextiling Jupiter in Taurus. And once again, as we said, Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is a very favorable aspect. And I hope really for you that in this whole process, not only you are finding yourself, setting up your boundaries, and knowing the kind of relationships that you would like for yourself by healing those wounds, those karma that you may come into this life. So how can I use my own example to help us to understand this portal from last year, 14th of October, to today on the 25th of March? I go back even further. When South Node ingressed into Libra last year in July, I already knew that I will take this journey to America, to Canada. Symbolically, it was like shedding the old identities after 30 years that I have been living in Italy, in Florence. The identity as a mother, as a wife, being part of a social circle with my friends and family. And so the 14th of October, I was physically in Sedona, in America, in Arizona. And at that point, I already knew the kind of old system that wouldn't work for me any longer. Maybe subconsciously, I wasn't ready to take up the battle while I was still searching for my own self-identity in this kind of new environment. And today, 25th of February, I am finding myself back to Italy since the end of February to close this chapter of my life. And we can say whatever we want, but the planetary movement have great influence. And we can only understand that by seeing a bigger picture, going above and going deeper to see how these kind of energies influence our personal life. And so this would be more or less that how I want to talk about the 25th Libra lunar eclipse. And as I said before, during the webinar, we can go one step deeper into more details. If you would like to join me, please click on the next video and you will understand more. Why is that I would like to bring Arcturus energy into today's podcast? Arcturus is one of the main constellations in Libra. At this moment, it is around 24 degrees in Libra. Even though it's not conjunct with the South Node and the Moon, but its influence has been here for so long, and it will still has his influence. As Arcturus myself, with my Sun conjunct Arcturus, especially with my Venus at 2 degrees, I have always felt this Arcturian energy in me. And that's why I would like, during this webinar, to bring us into this meditation, which I have received from them, that I have downloaded from them. Arcturus is a red giant located in the Boost constellation. It is only 37 light years away from our Earth. In our galactic astrology, we have always considered Arcturus have influenced right from the beginning of our Earth history, from the Lemuria period to the Atlantean period, and up till today is even more prominent than ever. The starseed from Arcturus, they are very compassionate, they are passionate, they are very much into service to humanities, and very often they are healers themselves. So they always interested in all kinds of different healing modalities. I myself have started this spiritual journey by learning Reiki. And today, even though I go past that, I am into that light language in music tones in my healing practice. But somehow when we start to learn like Reiki, like prana healing, it's a kind of tools that trigger this kind of capacity, abilities, gift that we bring with us as Arcturian starseed. What's more is Arcturus starseed very often is very good with technology as well. They might be good with computer programming, because they have also the left side of the brain very much developed. They are logical, they are practical, unlike many other starseeds from other constellations. And they usually have a kind of vision that go for long term, that they see a goal, and with their vision, they will keep on working until they bring this goal into a manifestation with the skills in organizations, with consistency and in perseverance. And very often, they are also good communicator through all kinds of art, drawings, expressions through their body, and in writing. That would not be rare if you find a Arcturian starseed that has that is good in writings, and as a good communicator, sometimes you will find them as a public speaker. One of the examples is Dolores Cannon, who is an Arcturus starseed, and her influence, her communications, and her abilities in helping healing through the QHHT, the hypnosis practice. All this is just so reflects the qualities of Arcturian starseed. Another point of Arcturian starseed is some of them may be very sensitive to the pollution of our environment, and to a point that they may have allergic reactions. I myself suffered for 20 years of allergic reactions that So if you find yourself highly sensitive, you might be one of the Arcturus starseed. So to close today's podcast, I would invite you to join me in this webinar where we can connect with each other and to go through this healing. I would also like to stress that I don't say what kind of healing that you need, because I think in this chamber, through our connections with the Arcturus, you and your higher self would know perfectly well the kind of healing that you might need for yourself, which is different from one to another person. I hope that I can be of service. If you would like to know how this kind of energy influence your personal life in details, you are welcome to contact me in my website, becominglotus.org, to have your personal reading. I thank you to stay with me, and I see you next time. Thank you. From my heart to yours.